Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from November 7th. And that is actually the day I'm recording this, but it will come out probably tomorrow since I already have something scheduled for this afternoon. Again, recording this on November 7th. And it said, it's from townhall.com. Forgot to say that. And you can probably see the headline right in front of you, but I'm bringing this up not necessarily because of the act itself, but because of, like it says here, how, not MSNBC, but they're bad anyway, but how NBC framed this story because it's so egregiously bad that it's like you can't not facepalm when you see it. And of course, it's horrible that this guy died, but let's just get into it. It says, so that's how NBC News framed a Jewish man's homicide at a pro-Israel rally? Question mark. And the article says, are we back to this game again? The media sanitized and obfuscated how a Jewish person died amid the Israeli-Palestinian issue. Usually CNN or the Associated Press takes that on. Ain't that the truth? Especially amid the wave of terrorist stabbing attacks the Jewish state endured by lone wolf Palestinians that began in 2015. Some involved vehicles, which included terrorists plowing into crowded bus stops. Some outlets correctly pointed out that the drivers being Palestinian, and others described it as a car ramming incidents. Yeah, because we have to just, you can't know exactly what happened. And it's funny because I have my TV on right now, and as I'm talking about this, the news is actually talking about this as well and showing what happened, or at least like the aftermath of it. They're trying to help the guy, and they have him blurred out because there's blood. So anyway, back to the article because that was kind of the point of this. Just a funny coincidence or an interesting coincidence, not funny at all. It says the latter were always easy to spot. Who was driving the cars, folks? Ghosts. On November 5th, Paul Kessler, 69, was killed after a physical altercation with a pro-Palestinian activist. Physical injuries were inflicted on Kessler, who died of internal injuries the following day. NBC News' headline goes as follows: Man dies after hitting head during Israel and Palestinian rally in California, officials say. And the emphasis is from the author of the article. And then the Twitter account and Wokeness, which if you're on Twitter, I would highly recommend following. Says an old Jewish man was just murdered by a pro-Palestine protester in Los Angeles. And the current headline at NBC says, as we just read, man dies after hitting head during Israel and Palestinian rallies in California, officials say. So what did he hit his head on? How did he hit his head? Like it's like the most generic possible thing. And I've said this on other videos before, but no matter how much you hate the news and the journalists, like you don't hate them enough. So yeah, there you go. Says authorities in Ventura County, California, are investigating the death of a Jewish man who was injured during a confrontation at dueling rallies over Israel and Gaza. Died Monday, the sheriff's department said. Witnesses said that Paul Kessler, 69, was in a physical altercation with counter-protesters, the Ventura County Sheriff's Department said in a statement. And on the TV, it just flashed and it said that the person who did the deed has not been arrested yet, and they have ruled it a homicide. I wonder if we'll get to that in this article. I just noticed that out of the side of my eye while it's on TV. Anyway, it says during the altercation, Kessler fell backwards and struck his head on the ground, it said. The incident happened around 3:20 p.m. Sunday in Thousand Oaks, a community in the Los Angeles area just over the Ventura County line, the department said. Kessler was taken to a hospital and died Monday, it said. The Ventura County Medical Examiner's Office, there we go, determined the cause of death to be blunt force head injury and the manner of death homicide, the Sheriff's Department said in a statement. Yeah, what I initially read was that the Palestinian or pro-Palestinian guy, I don't know if the guy himself was actually Palestinian, like swung his megaphone at the guy and knocked him backwards. And yeah, that because the guy died, that's a homicide. Says it was a homicide. NBC knows this, but pussyfooted around it for the sake of keeping a particular narrative intact. He fell because someone bashed him in the head, guys. That's a homicide. He didn't fall like in some Life Alert commercial where which your headline insinuates. It wasn't an accident. What the hell is this? This Jewish Life Television issued a press release featuring Jonathan Oswax, I don't know who that is, a witness to the attack. And he said, in the early afternoon on Sunday, November 5th, 2023, Paul Kessler attended a small rally in Westlake Village to demonstrate his support for the state of Israel in connection with the Israel-Hamas war being waged in southern Israel and the Gaza Strip. In an attack that witnesses allege was entirely unprovoked, a pro-Palestinian protester struck Kessler in the head with a megaphone. Kessler's injuries became apparent immediately, as evidenced in both still photographs and videos from the scene. And sadly, Paul Kessler succumbed to his injuries on Monday, November 6, 2023. It is believed that Kessler is the first individual to die as a result of an attack at a demonstration in connection with the Israel-Hamas war. And then there's the complete statement from the Sheriff's Department. It says, A 69-year-old man, identified as Paul Kessler, died as a result of injuries sustained during an altercation at a pro-Israeli, pro-Palestinian event, both of which were occurring simultaneously at the intersection of Westlake Boulevard and Thousand Oaks Boulevard. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office is investigating the incident and has not ruled out the possibility of a hate crime. I would almost argue, and again, I'm not a lawyer, I would argue that that was in fact a hate crime because that dude killed him because the guy was Jewish. But they need to prove that. But I would argue that that should be a hate crime, and yeah, bring this guy up forever, whoever he is. So November 5th, 2023, at approximately 3:20 p.m., multiple citizens called the Ventura County Sheriff's Communication Center to report a battery had occurred at the intersection of Westlake Boulevard and Thousand Oaks Boulevard in the city of Thousand Oaks. The intersection was the location of a pro-Israeli, pro-Palestinian demonstration. Upon arrival, deputies located Kessler, who was suffering from a head injury. Witness accounts indicated that Kessler was involved in a physical altercation with counter protesters. I mean, they have the S in parentheses because it was either one or more, maybe. During the altercation, Kessler fell backwards and struck his head on the ground. Kessler was transported to an area hospital for advanced medical treatment, and on November 6th, 2023, he succumbed to his injuries. An autopsy was performed on November 6th, and the Ventura County Medical Examiner's Office determined the cause of death to be blunt force head injury and the manner of death homicide. This is an active and ongoing investigation, and the incident appears to be isolated and not part of a large effort. And it ends, it says, this headline is just as bad as CNN's article about the radical Palestinian who was plotting an attack in Houston against those of particular faith. Oh, yeah, there was a video about that as well that went up on, I want to say it was November 6th, if you want to check that out. It says the man was planning to murder Jewish people. Yeah, so they're all the news, Jesus H. You guys just report the truth. It ain't that hard. Anyway, this is a horrible situation, obviously, but aside from that, what do you think about uh, our news stations that just can't tell you the truth in a headline? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.